Hey yo, what up? What up? It's Lemek with selahsportstv back at it again. Chill. Well, it's time for a long overdue conversation, right? Um, Long overdue, but not necessarily on this channel. And for those who've been around, you know that we've been on this at least for the last year, right? What conversation am I referring to? Um, I'm, of course, I'm talking about the hot topic tether conversation, right? Yep, talking about the tether conversation. And the reason why, the elephant in the room, reason why it's in the news is because of one mediocre rapper, Fat Joe, right? Fat Joe has made headlines. He's been in the news last couple weeks because he's another one of these tethers. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. He came up with, I believe he came up with the FBA terminology and classification, which has been powerful, been very powerful. I call the same group. I like to call us Israelites because I'm going back to antiquity, to our patriarchy and to our lineage, right? But I got no problem with FBA, right? Because at least it's a classification, right? We need to know who we're talking about because as we see, we got a bunch of people who tether on to us, right? Pretend to be our brothers and sisters, but in actuality, they're not. So let's talk about it. And first of all, I want to get this out of the way. This is not a. It has nothing to do with hate. If you listen to the video, you won't hear any hate, right? One common theme is there's no hate in business. Business is just business, right? So that's the theme of this message. We getting back to business. But let's talk about it. As we know, the tether conversation is prevalent right now. It's definitely necessary. I'm not one of these people that's saying, "Oh no, can't we all just get along?" Sure, we can all just get along after we establish the truth, right? We can't have people hijacking our identity, going out there and basically robbing us, for lack of a better word. I mean, it's so much more than robbing us, right? But just to sum it up, I'll just say robbing us, right? Here's the thing. This conversation is not just a rap music conversation. Trust me, it's not. Like, our place in the culture extends farther than music. Our place in sports culture is been almost identical. The way we've dominated sports culture, and by we, hopefully you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, then you'll put it together. The more you listen, you'll put it together, right? But I'm not. This ain't a spell everything out channel. This is like for people who kind of know left from right. Okay. Yeah. Like, we have dominated a few different industries, right? Entertainment, which includes music and sports. And we've seen a lot of the same tactics used in the sports world that are used in the music world. Case in point, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, right? These guys can't do anything without name dropping some black athlete, right? To tether on to them and attempt to gain popularity or gain some type of street cred, right? From being tethered on to the name they got in their fucking mouth. Now, I know that was probably a choppy way of explaining it, but it's absolutely fact. The most recent example is Teofimo Lopez. I see that he's, shout out to Goodfella TV. I believe I saw a video where he's saying that Teofimo Lopez is asking Andre Ward, is his podcast only for black athletes? Like, the nerve of this cocksucker, man. It's like they're entitled, right? After all the things they've said, after all the things he said about our group, right? Who's he go to? He doesn't go to one of his own, right? He comes to one of the group that he just disrespected, has been constantly disrespected with the monkey talk and everything. So he wants to go to a monkey's channel begging as if someone owes him something. See, this is what happens when they've been getting free rides for so long. And this isn't, I'm gonna be honest, this is not a conversation exclusive to black people at all. It's not. It's just that we have our version of it. On a greater scale, America's going through this. America's going through this. That's why we're trying to shut down the borders and all that other shit. Because we've got people over here tethering on and stealing resources. And doing it, in my opinion, quite disrespectfully. Right? Quite disrespectfully. But just to rein it back into sports. Just to rein it back in. This has been going on for a long time. And it's not just a Hispanic, black and brown thing. It's not. It's us versus all of y'all bitches. Okay? It's us versus. So let's end the speculation. I'm talking to all of y'all type of shit. Right? That's what we doing right here. And by all of y'all, I'm talking about, it's foundational black Americans, and then it's all of y'all. So if you ain't foundational black American, I'm talking to all of y'all. Right? Now, does that mean every person of every race outside of foundational black American is on some bullshit? No, absolutely not. The Most High know I ain't saying that. Right? Definitely not saying that. There's good and bad people within every race. And that's the fucking A1 truth. You better believe it. There's great people and horrible people within every race. That's the truth. But I can't speak to other races. What I can speak to is the group that I'm a part of being marginalized and moved off of their own creations. Rock and roll, now it's happening with hip hop. This thing already happened with rock and roll, people. It's happening with sports. It's happened with sports. Now, sports isn't so much about ownership. We created it because, truthfully, we didn't create any of these sports. Truthfully, we didn't create any of these sports. So I'm not on here saying that. I feel like I'm so far away from the fucking camera. Right? I'm definitely not saying, but as far as like moving the culture within the sport, yes, James Naismith created basketball, but was basketball popular when he created it? No. When did it become popular? When guys like Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, fucking Elgin Baylor, later on Magic Johnson, right? Larry Bird, right? That's when the league became popular. So we just keep it real over here. That's all. But yeah, this shit needs to be addressed. Look at how Emmanuel Acho moved. This shit happens all the time. Look at how Emmanuel Acho moved Marcellus Wiley and Whitlock out of the way, right? Why? Because he's black enough. He has the appearance. And I'm honestly glad this is happening. See, I'm an Israelite. We already understood that being brown does not mean we're the same. Right? We already understood that we're not any type of we have no link to Africans. We're not related to Africans in any way, shape, or form. Africans know this, right? Africans know this, but I'm glad this is happening because this is bringing it to the forefront. So it's deadening all that Pan-African bullshit. It's deadening it. Fuck your feelings. If you was on that, it's time to get on something else because now you see that that's some bullshit. And real quick, because I know this isn't technically the most sports-related video. It's more culture. But hey, that's what we do over here. But a lot of you Israelites who hold up the charts with the 12 tribes and this tribe is in this country and this tribe is in that country, which is faulty as hell anyway. But understand that it don't matter if you see Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, whoever the fuck as our brother, right? There was a time when Danites was our brothers too, right? There was a time when Danites were our brothers too, correct? Are they our brothers now? Like did Judah and Benjamin separate from the whole other 10 tribes? Where the whole other 10 tribes basically cut at that point. So don't trip on, oh, they're our brothers. Like, people get cut. People, really, they cut themselves. When you cut yourselves off from Judah, from us, it's like, all right, you did it. You did it. Don't try to double back and be our brother. No. You're Jamaican. You said, like in Busta Rhymes' case, y'all don't have no culture. We brought all our culture. It's just, keep the separation. Keep it. I like our chances. I like the way things are going. Shout out to Lord Jamar. Something he said, yesterday's price is not today's price, right? So, we're going to talk more about what that means, right? We're going to talk more about what that means. I have a whole fucking, I got a whole presentation lined up. Like, if this video does well, I got something special lined up. Something way bigger on this topic, right? But, right now, we gearing up for this playoff game, man. We getting ready to get the fucking Steelers out of there. We're going to see what happens. Zay Flowers is out, but we got plenty of weapons all over the field. I'm not worried about it. We need to go ahead and, lay them to rest, so to speak, right? But, yeah, man, like, it's a different day. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Tethers, I get it. You had it good. You had a good run off of us. We let you in. You can't say we hated on you. And real quick, because a lot of things get conflated, especially when Fat Joe start talking. God damn, like, every time Fat Joe opened his mouth, it's some crazy ass fucking lie, right? But what he's saying is they don't want to hear no Puerto Rican, they don't want to hear Jamaican. They think it's just all black and nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying it. No other culture than it was Jews participating in hip hop at the beginning of it. There was some Jews participating. There was some regular white people participating. It was some Jamaicans participating, some Trinidadians participating, some Puerto Ricans participating. It's sprinkled, right? But when you talk about the creation of it, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. The creation of hip hop was created off of the prior sounds of our music. Funk, jazz, swing, bebop. None of those are y'all's music. All them early samples, Big Daddy Kane, Public. What are we talking about? They wasn't sampling merengue. They wasn't sampling Julio Iglesias. They wasn't. Then y'all could try to rewrite history, but you just making yourself look stupid. And Fat Joe is the example. Fat Joe is the example. I love it. A lot of people get squeamish when things like this happen, like, oh, they see division. But sometimes division is good, man, because we got to know who's who. We got to know who's who and be honest about it. So I'm always with that. I'm always with it. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. If you like the video, bang off on that like button one time. Peace.